Next up is an entrepreneur who has scaled from local success to becoming India's largest homegrown tea brand globally. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome on stage Bala Sarda, founder and CEO, Vahdam, India.
Hi everyone, I'm going to keep it short. I have 10 minutes and I know you guys are more interested in the lunch to follow after this. Introductions first, I'm Bala Sarda, the founder and CEO at Vahdam India. I started Vahdam in 2015, now a little over 9 years back, with a simple vision to take the best of India to the world, to take India's finest, freshest teas, spices, botanicals, and everything we've got to offer to the world under a proud homegrown label. It all started with a visit at a retail store in the US around 2012 when I realized that across categories, you would only find foreign brands, right? And categories which were so native to India. Think of tea, right? 25% of the world's production comes from India. We are the largest producer and exporter of spices, Ayurveda, yoga, native Indian wellness wisdom is such a big market globally. But there was not even a single brand which was homegrown, which was taking this to the world. And I said, can we try and change that? Over the last 9 years, we have been very fortunate to have shipped our products to over 5 million plus consumers in over 140 plus countries. And I genuinely believe the journey is just started, right? Amazon says it is truly day one for us at Vahdam India. Amazon Smbhav is actually very special to my heart because one of the most spectacular days of my life was at the Smbhav event in 2020 when we were awarded the Global SMB of the Year, and I was fortunate enough to get it from Jeff Bezos himself here in Delhi. So before I start, a big round of applause for the entire Amazon team here for this amazing event, for helping dreamers and entrepreneurs and sellers like us to dream big and giving us a platform to actually execute something which was impossible if you go 2 decades back, right? So thank you, Amazon. I'm primarily going to talk about 2 things today. One, this is the golden age of building brands from India for the world. And I don't say this without any seriousness. I say this with a lot of seriousness, in fact. Few reasons why. Number one, if you look at the ecosystem, it's perfectly poised for us to build large scalable brands across categories. Number one, look at the sellers and entrepreneur ecosystem, right? I was telling somebody at the event a few minutes before that the quality of sellers and entrepreneurs I see every year here at Smbhav is just going up a notch. So that's number one. Number two, when you look at platforms like Amazon, which enable us to sell some of these products to the world with minimal intervention, I think the biggest barrier in building a global brand is anyways out of the way. And third and most importantly, the perception of brand India globally is changing, right? Which was something very different 10 years back, right? And my only urge to everybody here who's thinking of going global, it's our collective responsibility to make products from India which are respected across the world, right? Scaling up growth, all of this is a part of the journey of building a business. But I think as a country and as fellow entrepreneurs from India, I think it's very important that we ensure that brand India is at the forefront of everything we are doing, right? We all know the dent China had to face in the late 90s when, because of the subpar products being produced in that country, and it took them many years, maybe a couple of decades to change that perception. And we don't want that to happen for India, primarily because of 2 reasons. Collectively, it will help all of us. And more importantly, I think it's the future generation who will come and continue to build brands from India. We need to ensure that consumers globally trust brand India. So that's number one. Number two, I think one piece of advice, right? Unsolicited, but I get a lot of entrepreneurs who reach out to me trying to go global. And one of the common points I see is all of them tend to force fit a product in global markets, right? Now, if you really think about it, fundamentally exports is nothing but selling your product in a different country versus your own. That's the only difference, which basically means the 4 P's of marketing still apply, right? You still need a product which consumers want, which means you need to deep dive, do a lot of consumer research to understand what these consumers want. And trust me here, what consumers want in India is very different from what consumers want in the US versus the European countries, right? So my point is, go deep, do your customer research. A face serum which can sell in India will not sell in the US if you really do not understand what you're trying to solve for the consumer of America, right? And when I say sell, you can obviously get a start, but I think I see a lot of amazing entrepreneurs with a deep vision of creating something scalable. And for that, you need to get the basics right. Second is, of course, pricing. Again, unlike India, some of these markets we sell in, the price sensitivity is very different. So understand that and only then price your product. Don't do it basis what you think is the right price. Go top down, understand your consumer, and then price it. Place I will not talk about. It's an Amazon event. They have ensured that we don't need to worry about that at least. And fourth is promotion. I think, again, one of the big pain points I hear from a lot of sellers, fellow entrepreneurs, is the high cost of advertising, right? The relatively higher cost of advertising. And I'll tell you one thing, and I tell this to my team as well, that, you know, advertising is a demand and supply piece, right, on the internet. No matter how much more technological advancement we see in the next few years, you will still see a few spots on your mobile phone or your laptop. So advertising is only going to get expensive, and we can't blame anybody else. What we need to do is ensure that our advertising is creative, right? So a lot of sellers tend to believe that if you have a product, you list it, get 10 reviews, start running sponsored ads, you can win. Maybe you can, but I think the competition is much more tougher. The market has evolved, so be very, very creative in how you think about your story. Go deep. You will find, we're all doing this to build a large business. When I started this in 2015, my biggest goal, like my ultimate life goal, was 100 crore ka dhanda ho jaye. That was my ultimate goal, right? And now when I look back, I realize why we get up every day and do it with even more passion is because we want to take the best of India to the world and help our farmers here in India. So find that passion, find that story. Everybody has one. Bring it out, brainstorm with your team, and put that out creatively over advertising. And trust me, you will win, because the kind of talent, the kind of genuine, kind of products we have as a country, I don't think there is anybody who can compete with us. So yeah, let's dream big, let's be creative, and let's make India a powerhouse of global brands over the next decade. Thank you.
Amazon Smbhav, नए इंडिया की नई रफ्तार।